Well, meantime, raise your hand if you still have memories of those typical school lunches. You know, the ones, the rock hard corn dogs and the rubbery square pizza. Well, thanks to Georgia's Farm to School program, times are changing for the better. Nowadays, kids are given fresher, healthier alternatives. Damon Jones has the story.
As the old saying goes, you are what you eat. And with a rise in childhood obesity over the past decade, there's been a major push to include healthier choices in school cafeterias. It's a trend that's very evident right here in Georgia.
As far as nutrition goes, we really focus for our efforts on getting the locally grown produce, fresh fruits and vegetables. And our focus for nutrition education in our cafeterias and in our classrooms is Choose My Plate and making half of your plate fresh fruits and vegetables.
Thanks to the Farm to School program, many school systems are now purchasing locally grown produce, which means unprocessed, better tasting fruits and vegetables. It's a concept that benefits not only the children, but also the entire community.
Most of our produce in Georgia comes from out west. So instead of it, traveling over 2,000 miles, it's coming a lot closer, so it's going to be fresher, it's going to be tastier. And when you're purchasing locally, you're keeping your dollars local and you're inside your community, and you're seeing those multiplier effects.
And so far, the idea has really spread throughout the state as an increasing number of schools are now participating in the program.
We've had an overwhelming growth of farm to school programs in the last 6 years. We did a little inventory last year, and we found that at least 14 school districts were serving at least one item locally in the school menu every month, and it totaled to over 3 million meals with local food last year.
However, the school systems can't do it all by themselves, as local farmers are also encouraged to do their part. And while producing and distributing to such a huge number of schools might seem like a daunting task, there are things that can make it easier.
They could reach out to each individual school district depending on where they are, and they could also get in touch with some of the larger produce vendors, because sometimes it can be harder to get into schools that have 111 schools and get the produce to those locations. So distributors can help with that.
And it's not just food the schools are looking for the farmers to provide, but also some education. With so many children growing up away from the farm, there's very little opportunity for the kids to gain a true appreciation for the industry.
If they're set up to host farm field trips, that's a great way to get kids out to see, actually where food comes from. A lot of kids have never met a farmer. They've never been to a farm. They don't think about where food comes from. So farmers are big heroes and champions in that sense. But farmers can also visit the school and the school cafeteria and, come in for a day and teach kids about what they're growing and how they grow it, and even bring samples.
I think when farmers are involved, it always, it's a hands-on experience. When you could get a farmer to the school or the kids out to the farm itself, students are already able to remember that activity and really hits home.
Reporting from College Park, I'm Damon Jones for the Georgia Farm Monitor.